I'll take care of it, don't worry.
Me worry? Okay, so, you know this tune. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, oh it's Georgia, the song of sounds so sweet and clear like moonlight through the pine. All the arms reach out for me, all the eyes smile tenderly, still peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia gal, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. All the eyes smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams I see on the road, the road, the road, the road, it leads on back to you. Oh, Georgia, Georgia gal, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. One last time now it's Georgia, Georgia, the peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia, Georgia, Georgia on my mind, Georgia on my mind. Little interesting background on that song. That song was written in 1930 by Hoagy Carmichael. And Carmichael, at the time, was attending Indiana University. He played the song for the first time at a fraternity party, and his friend Stuart Gorell was there, and he loved the song, loved the song. He said, but that song needs lyrics, lyrics. Gorell stayed up all night and wrote the lyrics to that song and never got credit on the copyright. But, Carmichael paid him royalties for the rest of his life. And Gorell never wrote another lyric and became a banker. Somewhere in there is a moral. I don't know. But that's a true story. Okay, I'm going to teach you a song now. Because, as I said, we're of a certain age. Most of us. Some of you I can see a lot. But I won't hold it against you. Okay, so This has a chorus, and it's got a pretty easy chorus. It's amazing this thing is in tune. I'm the opposite of these guys. These guys have bright, wonderful sounding new strings. I hate the sound of new strings. The problem is, though, that the older the strings get, the harder they are to keep in tune. But that doesn't bother me most of the time. So this is your part, okay? This is a homemade song. This is a homemade song. And I'll tell you the background of the song after, but your part goes like this. Grandma, she's my grandma. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time. But I can't wait to see Grandma again. That's your part, see? It's as easy as pie. And once you learn it, we're going on the road with it. Right after they do their performance, we're taking over the performance business. Okay, so this song, I have 5 grandchildren. My wife is here.
Yeah.
My wife's so. I have 5 of the world's most adorable grandchildren. Of course, I'm completely objective, and but they are absolutely cute. And this song was written quite a long time ago now, when my kids were small, when my daughters were small, and I modeled it kind of after my mom and the way that she dealt with my kids at the time. So your part, did you learn your part yet?
Yes.
You can speak among yourselves and find out. Okay, let's practice. Grandma, she's my grandma. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. You sound excellent. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time. I get to see her all the time. But I can't wait to see Grandma again. That's very good. You're very, very gifted.
You're a good teacher.
Oh, well, what do you know? Right. Okay. Who's the one who buys me toys and doesn't care if I make noise and holds my hand to cross the street and makes delicious things to eat? Who's the one who thinks I'm great and smart and lets me stay up late and hugs me when I'm feeling bad and kisses me and makes me glad? Here's your part. Grandma, she's my grandma. Oh, great. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time, but I can't wait to see Grandma again. Who can smile just like the sun, make your homework seem like fun, and understands the things you do, and loves you just because you're you? Who's a mom to mom or dad, the best friend Grandpa ever had, who'll read to you a storybook, who'll give a hug, a wink, a look? Grandma, she's my grandma. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time, but I can't wait to see Grandma again. Take it, band. Hangs up all the things I draw on her refrigerator door, laughs at all my silly jokes, lets me eat eggs without the yolks, who brags about me to her friends, whose caring never ever ends. She's holidays and birthdays too. I hope you know how I love you. Grandma, my grandma. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time, but I can't wait to see grandma again. Let's do it again. Grandma, she's my grandma. She's grandma and she's also my best friend. Grandma, she's my grandma. I get to see her all the time, but I can't wait to see grandma again. I get to see her all the time, but I can't wait to see grandma again. Thank you. Thank you. That song, I have a very special gift, a very, very special gift. That has nothing to do with music. I went from being a musician to being a lawyer and made less money. My wife will tell you it's the truth. It's a very rare gift, the reverse Midas touch. And so, what did I do? I had a wife, I had a kid, I had a mortgage, I had a headache. I'm stealing Gary's act now. Anyway, so I did what I always do. I looked in the paper and I saw an ad. Well-known Irish band needs guitar player who sings and plays other instruments. I said, I could do that. And so I went, I sat in with the band, and they offered this job. And in the first year, I was a brand new lawyer, right? In the first year, I played like 140 gigs. I practiced law. And I would crawl home on Saturday at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And my wife would shush the kids, shh, Daddy's gonna sleep. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, I was in the law office. It was horrible. But I did it for 3.5 years, right? It was like a 3.5 year life sentence. And, but eventually, when my wife offered to divorce me, I said it was time. Later on, I'm going to hear about this. I'm using her as a foil, and I'm going to hear about it. But later on, when I left the band, during the time I was with the band leader would sometimes say to me, you should write a song about. Well, one day, we were heading to a gig, and he said, he had just become a grandfather for the first time. And he said, you should write a song about being a grandparent. It's nothing like being a parent. I went, what do you mean? Explain. And he told me a little bit. And so I wrote a song called the Grandpa Song. And we recorded the song, and then it got a lot of airplay on the local college stations that have ethnic shows. And I had left the band, and one day I got a call from the band leader. And he said, Jerry, we got tremendous mileage out of that song. It's great, people are asking for it, but the women are really pissed off. Could you write a grandma song? Now, as Rick was saying before, and I want to say, before I say anything else, thank you to Art, because, really, and to the North Reading Community Coffeehouse. It's really great. And it's great to share a stage or whatever this is with these guys. They're all great, really. And this is what this music is about. Okay, I don't like to preach, but this is really what this music is about. It's about people coming together and listening and singing together, right? And that's what keeps this kind of music going. And that's what keeps people writing these songs. Okay, so. Thank you for your support, because it really matters. It really does matter. So, as Rick was saying, sometimes songs are like this, and sometimes songs are like that song, the Grandma Song, 45 minutes, done. Right? So that's when the song has been delivered to you from somewhere else. You probably don't have anything to do with it. It's there, right? Anyway, I said I was going to do a Gershwin tune, and so I'm going to do a Gershwin tune. And this gives you another opportunity to sing. Okay. Your daddy is rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and take to the sky. Standing by. It ain't necessarily so, no, it ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, they ain't necessarily so. David was small, but oh my, they say David was small, but oh my, he fought big Goliath, laid down and died. David was small but mighty. Moses was found in a stream. They tell me that Moses was found in a stream. That boy floated on water to old Pharaoh's daughter. She fished him, she says, from that stream. And Jonah, he lived in a well. Jonah, he lived in a well. That boy made his home in that fish's abdomen. Jonah, he lived in a well. Here's the best part. Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But tell me now, who'd call that living when no gal will give in to no man what's 900 years? It ain't necessarily so. No, no, it ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, they ain't necessarily so. Summertime, the living is easy. Fish are jumping, the cotton is high. Your dad is rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Don't you cry. Don't you cry. sing. You have to sing. You know this tune. You may not even know you know this tune, but you know this tune, you know? So, Gary, get your guitar. This is okay, you know, Gary's a good picker, you know, so he can play. This dude can play. So, we can plug you in, you know. For those of you who are aficionados, we're going to play this in the key of A. For those of you who are not aficionados, we're going to play this in the key of A. Okay, so this is a Carter family tune. For those of you who are folk music and country music and old-timey music people, you'll recognize the name of the Carter family. They're considered the first family of country music. They made the most significant early country recordings out of Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol, Tennessee is a funny place. One side of the street, the main street, is in Tennessee and the other side is in Kentucky. It explains many things. But be that as it may, okay? Your part goes like this. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. That's your part, okay? Now, harmony parts are not prohibited here. So if you listen, I am an acolyte of Pete Seeger, you know, and like Pete, when he got into a place and there was an audience, it was like, okay, you're a choir now. You know, you're a choir now. Basses, I want to hear you do this. Sopranos, I want to hear you do this. You know, so really, you sing your hearts out. Sing your hearts out. I'm going to give Gary a chance to do some fancy picking and everything.
Yeah.
You can I'm going to do. All right.
All my brothers, sisters crying, money home so sad and alone. Will the circle be unbroken by and by? There's a better home awaiting
But this also has an equivalent in the black community, in the black hymnal tradition. They sing it this way. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burden down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burden down. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord. Take it one more time, yeah. Do it again. Do it again. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Gary Delinsky. Great picker, great picker.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, my pleasure. This is great. This is great. So we're gonna have to get the hook eventually.
Turn the lights on.
Okay, I'm gonna play this tune. This tune goes back a long. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Art asked me to do this, and I'm going to do this. He asked me to bring my banjo. I'm gonna play some banjo.
Liz, play some banjo. I told you to bring her.
All right, so let me. I explain to people. First of all, if you don't come to a folk music event, there's absolutely no place to play the 5-string banjo. It's the banjo. I say to people, I've come to say to people that the banjo is like the brigadoon of musical instruments. Every 20 years or so, it rises from the mists. And people will go, oh, it's fabulous. And they run out to music stores and buy a banjo. And then it disappears into their closet or under their bed for the next 20 years. You know, until there's a movie, you know, so it's Bonnie and Clyde, and then Deliverance, and then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and God knows what next, right? So that's the nature of the banjo, right? But some of us love banjo in spite of that. And every once in a while, we get to torture an audience. If you think it's hard to tune a guitar. We have a contest. You tell me when it's in tune. Oh, hey. See, the banjo has an even bigger problem than the guitar, and I'll tell you why. Seriously. Because there's so much metal and so much wood, and they expand and contract at different rates. Okay? And in this kind of weather, when it gets humid or it gets hot and then it gets cold, it's really very, very confusing. Confusing for the player and confusing for the instrument. Okay? So, okay, this tune, we'll see if I remember how this goes, but I learned this tune originally from a Chinese banjo player. This is not a joke. A Chinese banjo player. Charlie Chin. Charlie Chin, Charlie Chin was a marvelous musician and a terrible business person. And Charlie Chin was an original member of the band Buffalo Springfield. And he decided that the band was going nowhere and he quit. Yes, like I say, Charlie was, yeah. But Charlie, if you, the first Buffalo Springfield album has a song on it called Bluebird. And that is Charlie's banjo on there playing, you know, so he got a few royalties, I guess, right? All right, so this tune, just so you know, I can't give you like a 3-hour lecture on the banjo, but there are a variety of banjo styles, okay? 5-string banjo styles. Keep in mind, this is a 5-string banjo. The things that go, that's a 4-string banjo. Either a tenor banjo, right? A 4-string banjo, or either a tenor banjo. Most Irish players play tenor banjos, or plectrum banjos, which are also 4-string instruments, okay? But this is a 5-string banjo. It has on it this extra short string. You see there's a peg sticking out the side of the neck, okay? That is the drone string, sort of like a bagpipe, you know? So if you were to play a melody, that's okay, nothing to write home about, right? But okay, but if you were just to add that extra drone note in the background, azoi. Get it? That's what the banjo is about, right? So I primarily play an older style. What you may be accustomed to hearing is the 3-finger style, Scruggs style banjo playing, right? I play it down with the back of my fingernails. They call this frailing or rapping or claw hammer style banjo, right? So just give you the flavor of it. Biscuits, salt and gravy, hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie, hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Susie went huckleberry picking, boys got drunk, she got a licking. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie, hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Pick it, boy. Some got boozy. I went home with black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. You're the gal for me. All I need to make me happy is 2 little boys to call me Pappy. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. You're the gal for me. A little wife and a big plantation. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. You're the gal for me. Pick it! Come on, Susie, up to the loft. The hay up there is nice and soft. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. You're the gal for me. play some more banjo for you in a little bit. I'll play you a murder ballad. My wife hates it when I play murder ballads because they're disgusting. But and the story behind all of them is the same. It's the same, okay? The guy's a creep. The girl gets pregnant. He wants no part of it. He kills her. That's the story. I'll play you the story. Now, again, for those who care about this sort of thing, this is in a different banjo tuning, okay? What I mean by this is most bluegrass-style banjo players, three-finger style banjo players, play primarily in an open G tuning. The banjo stays tuned to an open G chord. When they look to change keys, they use a capo, or capo, as they say, over on the other side, right? They put on a capo, right? But the old-time banjo players, in order to get most of the notes they needed for a particular tune in the first several frets of the neck, particularly when they were playing fretless banjos, okay? So the higher up the neck you got, the more difficult it was to play in tune. They retuned the banjo to get most of the notes, the primary notes they needed in those first 4 or 5 frets, the area of those frets, okay? This is what is called mountain minor tuning or modal, G modal tuning. Some people call it sawmill tuning, okay? So, what do you have? What is modal? It is neither major nor minor. It hangs somewhere in between. So it sounds very mysterious. Especially when it's not in tune. Okay, this tune is called Little Sadie. This one I learned from Charlie Chin. Everybody's done this. The first commercial recording of this was done by Clarence Ashley back in 1929. And it was also done by many others, but also by Doc Watson, who was, by the way, a terrific banjo player, besides being a phenomenal guitar player, but terrific banjo player. I went out last night to make my round. I met Little Sadie and I blowed her down. I went home, I went to bed, 44 pieces smoking under my head. I woke in the morning about 9:30. The hacks and the buggies all standing in line. Gents and gamblers standing around, carrying Little Sadie to a burying ground. I'd done, thought my thoughts and away I'd run. Made a good run, just a little too slow, over to me in Jericho. I was standing on the corner reading a bill. Along come the sheriff of Thomasville. Says, young man, is your name Brown? Remember the night you blowed Sadie down? I said, yes, sir, my name is he. I murdered Little Sadie in the first degree, second degree. If you have any pickles, will you read them to me? They took me downtown and dressed me in black, put me on a train and carried me back, all the way back to the Thomasville jail. Had no money for to go by bail. The judge and the jury, they took the stand. Judge had the papers in his right hand. 44 days, 44 nights, 44 years at the ball and strike. Well, I went out last night to make my round. Met Little Sadie and I blowed her down. I went home, I went to bed, 44 questions moving on my head. Okay, so time to teach you another homemade song. Another homemade song. So, again, you know, there came a time. Once in a while, you think that you are in the right place at the right time with the right skills. Once in a while. And I have two now grown daughters, but when they were small, my wife would buy cassettes. You remember those?
Yes.
My wife would buy cassettes, and we put those in the car player, and the kids would listen to these cassettes over and over and over again. And some of them were fairly horrible, but some of them were pretty good. Some of them pretty good. And at some point, somebody heard one of, I think it was the grandma song or the whatever, on the radio, a guy who produced children's recordings, and tracked me down and called me up and said, would you be interested in making children's records? And I went, I don't know. Anyway, so the upshot of it was that I started to make some children's recordings, and I started to do some children's concerts, right? And my home became my test laboratory, right? How would I find out if the songs worked, right? Would kids laugh? Was it funny? You know, was it interesting? Could it engage them, right? So I was writing. I performed under the name Jeremy Kidd, K-I-D-D, and I put together a band called Just Kiddin', right? And they were good. They were very good band, right? There were guys like, listen, you know, musicians. You say, hey man, what are you doing on Sunday afternoon? Nothing. You know, would you play for 45 bucks? Yeah, cool. You know, and so okay. So I had these guys, right? And one day I was writing songs for them, and they were really all great players because I had played with them in other situations, right? And one day, my wife decided we're going to go to an amusement park with the kids. Right? It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to go on the rides. It's going to be great. We got to the amusement park, and she said, okay, you have to take the kids on that ride. One of those ones that went like that. And I went, no, I can't do that. And she said, what are you talking about? They're your kids. You're their father. You've got to do this. I said, I get motion sickness. I can't do this. I can't. She said, listen, this is not the right attitude. You're a parent now. Grow up. So we went on the ride, me and my two daughters. My wife smiling as we went. And all I could think of as the ride was going around was, don't throw up on your kid. Don't throw up on your kid. Right? Well, the PS of the story is I didn't throw up on my kid, but we came off the ride, and my younger daughter Marissa came yelling off the ride going, Mommy, Mommy, Daddy's turning green. And after I recovered, I went, that's a good line. So, you have a very simple part in this song, but it's crucial. It's crucial. Don't blow it, okay? The chorus to this song goes like this. Kind of crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. That's your part. You can see what I mean when I say it's crucial. It makes the whole thing work. Okay, so let's practice. Kind of crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy.
My daddy's turning green.
Hey, Zoe, sign him up, you know. Wow. Jerry's Traveling Circus. Okay, so here we go. All right. Have you ever seen your dad turning green when he takes you on the rides? Does he look really yuck cause the ride you just took kind of shook up his insides? Do his legs kind of shake? Does his voice kind of break in a way you haven't seen? Well, you can be sure that he's feeling poor when your daddy's turning green. Kind of crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now or is he in it dizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it allish. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be asking Coney, my daddy's turning green. Have you and your dad ever been on a boat when the waves got high and rough? And the look in his eye made you think he would cry if he was not so tough. And he wouldn't eat brunch or lunch at meals or in between. He's seasick, sad, and feeling bad when your daddy's turning green. Kind of crazy out of face, you're looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a dizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it all. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be asking Coney, my daddy's turning green. Or on that plane again to Maine or Spain or Timbuktu. Can your mind retrace that strange look on his face like the last time that you flew? And the stewardess smiled just a few thousand miles, Dad, this plane's a safe machine. You better hold his hand and try to understand when your daddy's turning green. Kind of crazy out of face, he's looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a tizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wall, gonna fall, it's like he's really lost it all. It's just a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be asking Coney, my daddy's turning green. Oh, when you gotta get a shot, cause your forehead's hot or it's not, but the flu's going round. And the needle shows and Dad's weak smile froze and it looked more like he frowned. And you feel okay, but Dad's blown away. Can't stand up, he's starting to lean. You better give him a drink and put him near the sink when your daddy's turning green. Kinda crazy out of face, he's looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a dizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wall's gonna fall, it's like he's really lost it all. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be asking Coney, my dad is turning green. He's green. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I ultimately did recover, but my wife didn't make me do it anymore. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play a little more blues for you. This is a tune that goes back apparently a very long way. I think this was originally recorded by the blues great Lightnin' Hopkins back in the late 1920s. These early blues guys were really fascinating guys. You know, and what they were in many ways were one-man bands. You know, they really were. And so I heard this most recently. I wasn't familiar with this tune, but then I heard a recording of it, a recent recording of it, by Taj Mahal and Keb Mo as a duo. They call themselves Taj Mo. Figure, yeah. Anyway, and many of these tunes are what Pete Seeger would have called zipper tunes, okay? And what he meant by that was there are certain, I hate to put it this way, but stock lyrics, okay? Lyrics that somehow migrate from one tune to another tune to another tune because they fit, okay? And this is one of those kind of tunes, okay? Whiskey, and I was a diamond dog. If the river was whiskey, and I was a diamond dog. If the river was whiskey, and I was a diamond dog. Well, honey, I'd dive to the bottom, and I would never Honey, you're smart, good looking, long-legged, fine and round.
You're smart, good looking, long-legged, fine and round. You're smart, good looking, long-legged, fine and round.
You know you're tailor-made, you sure ain't no hand-me-down. You never miss your water till the well runs dry.
Never miss your water till the well runs dry. You never miss your water till the well runs dry.
And you never miss your baby till she says goodbye.
If I could holler, holler like a mountain jack. If I could holler, holler, holler like a mountain jack. If I could holler, holler, holler like a mountain jack.
Well, I would go up on the mountain, I'd call my baby back. If the river was whiskey, I was a diving duck.
If the river was whiskey
And I was a diving duck.
If the river was whiskey
And I was a diving duck. You know I'd dive to the bottom, and I would never come up. Said I would dive to the bottom, and I would never come up. Did I tell you that I would dive to the bottom, and I would never come up? All right, we got time for a couple more. Okay, let's see. Okay, this tune, I first heard a long time ago on a Doc Watson album, and I thought it was a traditional tune. I didn't know where it came from. I thought it was a traditional tune, and tunes seem to go through cycles. You know, like tunes get popular and then disappear and come back. And this is a tune that's been picked up by a lot of pickers, young pickers, like the people you were talking about before, Molly Tuttle and Sierra Hull, the mandolin player, and Billy Strings, and those folks are playing this tune now. And I kind of went back to listen to Doc Watson play this tune, and folk music is like a tracking system. You know, you hear something, you go, what is that tune? Where did that come from? You know, and you sort of work your way backward, right? And I worked my way backward on this tune and found out that it wasn't traditional at all. It was written by Mel Tillis, the country singer. Very strange, because it sounds really like a traditional tune. It's a riff on the old John Henry legend, okay? And it goes like this. Let's see.
Well, I was born one morning rain a-pouring down. You know, I heard my mama say to my papa, let's call him John Henry Brown. Walk on, boy, you got to walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. I left my mama and my papa just about the age of 10. Lord, I got me a job working on the levee, toting water for the hard-working men. Walk on, boy, you best walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. One day my papa told me some advice I want to give to you. Son, find a good woman, be good to her, and she's gonna be good to you. Walk on, boy, you got to walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. If anyone should ever ask you just who's that fellow Brown, you can tell him I'm the boy who left his hammer smoking where he beat that steam drill down. Walk on, boy, you got to walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. Well, now you've heard my story, every last word is true. You know they call me Big John Henry Brown, 'cause there's nothing that I can't do. Walk on, boy, you got to walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. Born one morning, rain pouring down. You know, I heard my mama say to my papa, let's call him John Henry Brown. Walk on, boy, you got to walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. I said there ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry the load. I have a song, some of you may know this song, and the reason I thought of it was because Art was talking about Bruce Springsteen. Now, I'm not a Bruce Springsteen guy, but this song appeared on an album that Bruce Springsteen did. He did an album called The Seeger Session, okay? And again, you know, I don't know everything that Pete Seeger ever did, but once in a while something slips in and I go, huh? Right? And this was on that album. Now this tune is actually a traditional tune. It is. And this was a tune that Pete Seeger liked and played, and the Weavers played this tune. Okay, and it is actually, some people classify it as a sea shanty, but it's sort of it's a maritime work song. Okay, it's a maritime work song, but it's not a sea shanty because it was sung by stevedores, the guys that load and unload ships. And these were the stevedores, the black stevedores that worked in the Georgia Sea Islands, the Georgia and Carolina Sea Islands. And the song is essentially, it's a protest song, you know, and it was a way that they could protest and yet not get punished for it, okay? And these weren't all necessarily slaves, but they were workers that often got stiffed, okay? So the tune goes like this, all right? It goes, there's a chorus, it's a very easy chorus. goes, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. It's hard for me to imagine it being easier than that, right? It's a great tune. So, because the tune, it needed a little spicing up, so I added a few of my own verses. Topical stuff, whatever, okay? So we'll practice once. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Now, if you've ever been down to that part of the world, you know that on the Georgia Sea Islands, there's a separate culture, okay? A lot of Africanisms were maintained because the people were very isolated, okay? So there's a patois, gullah, okay? And the food, very different, right? And the songs. And I liken it to like the people in Nova Scotia play fiddle tunes, Scottish fiddle tunes that haven't been played in Scotland in 300 years. So, same idea, right? Okay, here's how it goes. I'll let you know when your part's coming. I thought I heard the captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. Here we go. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Excellent. As soon as the boat was clear of the bar, pay me my money down. The captain knocked me down with a spar. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me. You owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. If I had been a rich man's son, pay me my money down. I'd sit by the river and I'd watch it run. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was Mr. Bill Gates. Pay me my money down. They'd haul my money in crates. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Well, 40 nights at sea. Pay me my money down. Captain worked every last dollar out of me. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was Mr. Bezos' son. Pay me my money down. I'd sit in the house and I'd drink good rum. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was a captain too. Pay me my money down. I'd order around the whole damn crew. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. This is my most recent edition. I wish I was friends with Elon Musk. Pay me my money down. Might never have to work or busk. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was away from here. Pay me my money down with pretty girls and lots of beer. Pay me my money down. You got to pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail.